As you can see, I'm a little bit dulled up. I had just gone out for a bit to get a little break. What is this, Monday? Monday. Went out on a Monday. So the look is going to be a little bit different tonight. I'm not used to seeing me in my pajamas or what have you. Let's continue. I did a lot today as far as transcribing. So, just whenever you get the chance to watch this, definitely take your time with this one. Take some snacks, have yourself a drink, and go ahead and have a listen. I know I'm probably talking quiet just because it's so late, but let's see if I can project a little bit tonight. So we're gonna go over today's the 22nd. So we're gonna go ahead and do Surah 22, 23, and 24. So we're gonna go ahead and do 3. Not all of them are super, super long, so we'll get through them in a nice, succinct time. And let's go ahead and just review. We started with Mary a few days ago, and that kind of went through all of the different lives and prophethoods that we have seen throughout the Qur'an. And after that, I believe it was Taha, which is stand firm, as we remember. And then after Taha, we go into the prophets, or we did go into the prophets, and we're going to go ahead and start with the pilgrimage now. We're going to go over the pilgrimage, we're going to go over the believers, and we're going to go over the light. So if you have made it this far, congratulations. We are finishing up and we're going through some really crucial parts of the Quran. Excuse me, nose itch. Okay. I try not to have too many interruptions. Okay, so let's go Surah 22, which is Al-Hajj, which is the pilgrimage. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. For they have been guided in this life to the purest of speeches. They have been guided to the path of Him who is worthy of all praise. To those whose hearts, when Allah is mentioned, are filled with fear, who show patient perseverance over their afflictions, keep up regular prayer, and spend in charity out of what we have bestowed upon them. Say, O men, I am sent to you only to give a clear warning. And how gentle is that? I know this mentioned a lot, right? I say this a lot. I'm sent here only to give a warning. But let's be, I'm sure a lot of you feel admonished when I say that. But just be clear, the fact that a warning is really very gentle. When somebody gives you a warning, it's like, I don't want to get mad at you. I don't want to get upset. I don't want to punish you. And I'm going to let you go free. Just be warned, right? Be aware of the effect that you have. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the words you speak. Be aware of your actions at all times. It's just a gentle, gentle warning. It's not saying, it's not condemning, right? It's not condemning at all. When a teacher gives you a warning, when your parents give you a warning, when a police officer gives you a warning, that's basically saying, like, you're free to go. You're free to go. And I guess that's in reference to a police officer, but of course, teacher, a warning may be a little scary coming from a teacher. Parent, I shouldn't have done that, but you get the gist, right? It's very gentle. So those who believe and work righteousness, for them is forgiveness and a sustenance most generous. But those who strive against our signs to frustrate them, they will be companions of the fire. Never did we send a messenger or a prophet before thee, but when he framed a desire, Satan threw some vanity into his desire. But Allah will cancel anything in vain that Satan throws in, and Allah will confirm and establish His signs, for Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. Seest thou not that Allah sends down rain from the sky, and forthwith the earth becomes clothed with green? For Allah is He who understands the finest mysteries and is well acquainted with them. And strive in his cause as ye ought to strive, with sincerity and under discipline. He has chosen you. He has imposed no difficulties on you in religion. It is the cult of your father Abraham. It is he who has named you Muslims, both before and in his revelation and in this revelation, that the messenger may be a witness for you, and ye bear witness for mankind. So establish regular prayer, give regular charity, and hold fast to Allah. He is your protector, and best to protect and the best to help. The best to protect and the best to help. So that was nice. This is basically, any of you who watch these, is calling you out in the best, most beautiful way. This is calling you out, and you are chosen, to say the least. So Surah 23 is going to be all mu'minun, all mu'minun, all mu'minun, the believers. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. On no soul do we place a burden greater than it can bear. Before us is a record which clearly shows the truth. They will never be wronged. And how often have we heard that maybe in the Bible or in a Christian context, the Lord doth not give us more than we can bear. It says here too. So that just goes to show that even between books, the message is never really contradicted. Yes, there are certain points that are more highlighted on, but that is the whole reason for it being a separate book written by a whole separate person, and is structured differently for that reason. But really a lot of the wording is the same. It's just also the fact that it came about in a different language, the fact that this was Arabic, so it, of course, the wording is going to be a little different, but really very similar. I have rewarded them this day for their patience and constancy. They are indeed the ones that have achieved bliss. How amazing is that? Therefore, exalted be Allah, the King, the reality. I really like that part, the reality. It's really nice, really nice. There is no God but He, the Lord of the throne of honor. So say, O my Lord, grant thou forgiveness and mercy, for thou art the best of those who show mercy. And I like that. Let's do it one more time. O my Lord, grant thou forgiveness and mercy, for thou art the best of those who show mercy. And look at that. We're already on to Surah 24, which is An-Nur, and that means the light. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. A surah which we have sent down, and which we have ordained. In it we have sent down clear signs, in order that ye may receive admonition. Those who love to see scandal published broadcast among the believers will have a grievous penalty in this life and the hereafter. Allah knows, and ye do not. And so I did want to highlight that. We'll go ahead and finish this line, and then I'll speak on it. Were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah on you, and that Allah is full of kindness and mercy, ye would be ruined indeed. So if you think of the world that we live in now, especially, and when this was written, people love to spectate scandal. They really don't like to so much as be a part of it, but people love to spectate it. And you see, just on our cable TVs, what do we see mostly? What's the most interesting to look at? Scandals, conflict. Even on Facebook, I'm guilty of this too. Being drawn to those Dr. Phil episodes, or Steve Wilkos, or all those kind of conflicting themed things. They attention grab you with a headline oh, this is interesting, but it's really not something to indulge in, long term at all. So I would say I'm guilty too. So this is really great. Were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah on you, and that Allah is full of kindness and mercy, ye would be ruined indeed. So yeah, it's just the type of energy that gets mixed up with that type of thing. Yes, it may be entertaining to watch. Yes, it may make you feel better about yourself, or maybe you could even relate on a level, but it's just not something that you want to attach yourself and spend too much time indulging in, just because of the heaviness of a certain subject. Like, these are people's lives that are being tormented and ruined, or, with so much pain and hurt that when into this conflict, you don't really want to associate yourself with that. You want to move away, up and away from that. So let's go ahead and continue. We have already sent down to you verses making things clear, an illustration from the story of people who passed away before you, and an admonition of those who fear Allah. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. The parable of his light is as if there were a niche, and within it a lamp. The lamp enclosed in glass. The glass as it were a brilliant star, lit from a blessed tree, an olive, neither of the west nor of the neither of the east nor of the west, whose oil is well nigh luminous, though fire scarce touched it, light upon light. Allah doth guide whom he will to his light. Allah doth set forth parables for men, and Allah doth know all things. So that's beautiful. It reminds me of the parable that Jesus told, where the candle was under the basket. I'm sure a lot of you remember that one. So this is something similar to that. A really nice description and really nice wording. And I wanted to point out the fact that there's so many elements in this one. You have the lamp enclosed with glass, the glass like a star, you have a blessed tree, you have an olive. So there's a lot of different elements that you can kind of pick apart. And somebody who likes riddles, somebody who is good with that kind of stuff, I for one am not, but somebody that can understand metaphor and can understand the riddle behind it, I love to know what you think of this and how you break this down in your mind. Okay. Seest thou not that Allah make clouds move gently, then joins them together, then makes them into a heap? Then wilt thou see rain issue from their midst. And he sends down from the sky mountain masses of clouds, wherein is hail. He strikes therewith whom he pleases, and he turns it away from them from whom he pleases. The vivid flash of his lightning well nigh blinds the sight. They say, we believe in Allah and in the Messenger, and we obey. But even after that, some of them turn away. They are not really believers. When they are summoned to Allah and his Messenger, in order that he may judge between them, behold, some of them decline to come. But if the right is on their side, they will come to him with all submission. Those only are the believers who believe in Allah and his Messenger. When they are with him on a matter of requiring collective action, they do not depart until they have asked for his leave. Those who ask for thy leave are those who believe in Allah and his Messenger. So when they ask for thy leave for some business of theirs, give leave to those of them whom thou wilt, and ask Allah for their forgiveness, for Allah is oft-forgiving, most merciful. Deem not the summons of the messenger among yourselves, like the summons of one of you to another. Allah doth know those of you who slip away under shelter of some excuse. Then let those beware who withstand the messenger's order, lest some trial befall them, or a grievous penalty be inflicted on them. So, a little bit heavy way to end this one, but, oh my goodness, I am getting a call. Look at this. I don't know if you can hear that ring, the Facebook ring, but yes. Let's go ahead and finish this up. Basically what I wanted to say is, you are not to call on the messenger, whoever the messenger may be, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Prophet Muhammad, whether it is Noah in the ark, you know what I'm saying, the saints. You're not to call on them like your friend or anything like that. And I know that can kind of contradict what a lot of us have been taught about Jesus. Like, of course, Jesus is there and he wants to be your friend, but you're not to treat him as like, an expendable, somebody you can just use for every little thing. It's just, he's not that type of being. But what it is saying is God is that type of being, and you can call upon God and you can talk to him directly, really with the closeness, with however much closeness as you will allow. I just posted something on my business page on Instagram yesterday, and it's saying how God is a gentleman and he will knock before he enters, and he will ask if it's okay for him to come into your life and do what he will with your life. Very rarely is it like a forceful entry, very rarely. And if any of that has ever happened, God will never budge his way into your life. It will be very gentlemanlike, and you do have to be accepting and you do have to be open for that. But the prophets and Jesus, again, we can think of them as humans, right? And they are in human form as well. So we don't want to give them that same privilege as God would get, is what the point really of this Quran is. So we just want to make a point with this Quran to really establish God's position and his authority and his role versus leaning on everyone else. But you know, God first, right? God first always. It's just sometimes things get a little bit misconstrued. So this is just really what that book is about. And as we finish this up in the next few days, I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm really looking forward to learning more and collaborating more with you all on these words, getting them out there, spreading the good word. Yes, I'm excited. So I'm looking forward to finishing through 29. And then I might have a treat for you on Surah 29. We might read the entirety of the Surah, just so you can get a full understanding of what the language is like when you read it through. As you know, I've been I would say cherry picking, but carefully selecting which verses to read to you guys and what is relevant to the audience. But with the 29, I might just read the whole thing just so you can get a little taste of what the entire thing is like. I digress. I'm gonna go relax. I'm getting hounded at, what is this, 2 o'clock in the morning? 1 o'clock. Not as bad as I was thinking. So let me go rest. I'm gonna give you hopefully some time to catch up. I may or may not see you tomorrow since we did a few readings today, but I do want to give a chance for my audience to catch up with the past readings. So by the time we read the 29th, then it will all come together and we could all listen fully on that one. But if you miss it, you miss it, right? It's not so much of a big deal. I'm not really going to wait up for anybody to see these. I know you'll see them in your own time, so it's not so much of a big deal. But we'll just, give people a chance. I know I have some stragglers who watch the videos after the fact, and that is perfectly okay. I'm going to go to bed. Yes. Good night. Have a great night, everybody. God bless you. Bye.